What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Seth here, and I'm really not too excited to be making this video today, to be frank with you guys, but it is some pretty big news, so I thought that I should just share the knowledge that I was able to gain on it with you guys. And so if you haven't guessed already, today's video is going to be about Celsius and what is going on with the company. Now, if you are a cryptocurrency investor like myself, you may have had some funds into Celsius, and I'll explain what that is. So essentially, Celsius is a platform that offers crypto lending products that aren't really available through like traditional banks. So they're kind of like a crypto bank, if you will. They offer you relatively high returns on your crypto. But of course, just like a bank, they are allowed to lend out your crypto in return. So it's supposed to be like a win-win situation, right? But unfortunately, on June 12th, Celsius did announce that they have to pause all transactions. And by all transactions, I mean withdrawals, deposits, and the swap features that they have on the app. And I'm sure you're wondering why a company like Celsius would decide to just completely freeze all transactions. It's not good for the company. It's not really good for anyone. And I believe some exact words from the company in a statement that they gave out was, "We are taking this necessary action for the benefit of our entire community in order to stabilize the liquidity and operations while we take steps to preserve and protect the assets." And unfortunately, right now, guys, the company does not have a timeline for when it would reactivate all of these functions, but it did confirm that users at least will still continue to earn the interest for the coins that they do have deposited there, which is a little bit of a bright side. So essentially, guys, why Celsius had to stop or freeze their transactions was that Celsius was seeing basically an increased outflow of assets from its platform, while the crypto market is also in a relatively sharp decline. So this creates a huge selling pressure. It's almost like the Luna scenario, not exactly, but in both scenarios, there was a lot of selling pressure, which creates kind of like a snowball effect of selling, if you will, because people are emotional, and they don't like it when their investments aren't going good, so they panic sell, and that's just the way it is. So essentially, this creates more pressure on Celsius, the company as a whole. Many of Celsius's assets are not liquid or illiquid because they're locked in smart contracts, right? So as a result, it has to pause the withdrawals to keep a lid so that they can have enough funds in the company to stay afloat. So they had to essentially keep the lid on all the outflows and kind of get some time to gain some capital until the company is able to facilitate their withdrawals again. And so I'll show you guys this article here. Pull up this article. As you can see, the title is "Celsius Races to Add More Collateral to Maker as Threat of Liquidation Looms." And so we'll go down here, and this guy says it really well. Shout out John Woo on Twitter. So he explains it like Celsius has a lender, right? And that company is Maker, and they have a minimum of 150% collateral ratio on loans. And so he goes on to say that it means to access $1 of borrow, you must place $1.50 of collateral, right? So basically, Celsius was running out of money as of collateral to pay their lender Maker. And so there were some numbers here that they give out. So they added 2,000 more Bitcoin, and it bought them some time. So they lowered their liquidation price to $16,852. So essentially, what that means is if Bitcoin were to drop to this, Celsius would not be able to make up their collateral, and they would have to liquidate their assets, which is not good for anyone. And they lowered that from a starting price of up here, lowering its liquidation price to under 23,300. So Bitcoin was actually extremely close at one point to essentially putting Celsius into bankruptcy. And that would have been awful. A lot of people would have been very upset and lost a lot of money. me being one of them. But fortunately enough, they were able to lower it down to $16,000 price that you see right here, which is buying us time. Now, how much time? I don't know, guys. I wish I had all the answers for you. Unfortunately, I don't. But one of the good things is that you still are earning your interest on your assets as long as they are in there. I know you can't move them out right now, and I know that that doesn't make up for just not being able to control your money, which is very frustrating. In the future, guys, if you do want to avoid these kinds of problems, because it is a risk that you take being in the crypto community, in the crypto space, so you can stake your coins, guys. And essentially what that means is that if you stake, you can still earn passive income on your interests, but you will always have access to your funds because it is protected by a private key and is not liquid, right? So you will always, as long as you have that key, you will always be able to have to access your funds because it's not technically in the control of a bank, and they can't lend out your money. So they don't need to have a collateral for it, right? So what to do moving forward? Guys, there's really no clear-cut answer on this. The company has yet to release a statement about when they will have these functions back up and running. My Twitter is right there. I will always keep you guys updated on the most recent events in the market. And if Celsius gives out a statement about when their operations will be back up and running, guys, that'll be the first place to look. I'll have it up there as soon as I see it. I'm pretty active on Twitter. And also, speaking of that bottom left corner, if you guys did enjoy the content or it helped you at all, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate any and all love that you guys give on the videos. You know this, but that's really all I had for today's video. Everyone hang in there. It'll get better. Markets are cyclical. Don't forget it. And peace out. See you in the next one.